Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Big Mike here. And you are? Are you froze?
I'm Paul.
And we got Mr. Paul Honeyman's here. Yeah. So we got a double treat. You get to see me. You get to see Paul. Wait, Paul. There you go. Anyway, hey, I did put
That's a treat.
I did
The
put
biggest treat for me, Terry.
It is pinned if you want to come up and join Paul and I. And on this morning's Morning Talk with Mike, we're going to be talking about yesterday's holiday here in America. And I say that because Paul's here and he don't really give a rat's nothing about American holidays.
I just hope you all have a fantastic time.
We did have a great time yesterday. But yesterday was Juneteenth, and a lot of people, they only know, hey, I work for the state or I work for the federal government, and that's a day off. But we're going to get to the heart of it so you understand why we actually have Juneteenth here in America. And it's taken a long time for it to happen. But before we do that, you got something open, Paul, because I can hear some backfeed.
You can hear backfeed.
Yeah.
I've got my I've turned them down, so let's see if is that better?
Yeah. That's good.
I know what the backfeed is, Mike. And
you're good now.
Yeah.
But, hey,
I've got to turn my speakers right down.
Let's say hello to the people in the chat. There's Wendy at Hardneck Farms. Rebecca, Touched by Yarn, and she is right there.
This.
And that came from Rebecca, and we're going to open that up in a little bit.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Has Terry showed you any pictures?
I have not.
She has not.
Well,
I don't eat biscuits.
I'm about to show.
Okay.
This is going to be your blanket.
For who?
You too.
For our camper?
Yes.
There you go. All right.
I started on the blue today.
All right.
Yeah. It was like,
so
I didn't know this.
Kentucky Bluegrass is saying, turn that bed, you got biscuits in it. I can't remember the last time I had a biscuit.
Welcome in.
I don't even have chat up.
There's Terry. Terry's in here. I know you didn't, but that was for the pen. But she is in the chat, so everybody say hello to Terry.
Hello, Terry.
Patrick. Good morning, gang. What's the topic today? Today we're going to be talking about yesterday's holiday. We're going to talk about our trip to Texas yesterday. And yeah, we're just going to talk about what the goings on is and what these two are up to. There's Rick's channel. RNC Acres is in here. Welcome in. Karen Brest. My Alaska, AK Bill's here. Kentucky Bluegrass Living. Yes, Happy Vlogs is in here. There's Merns Pacquiao, my friend over in the Philippines. Big supporter of both Sergeant's Talk TV and MT Homestead. Appreciate you. There is Annie. Welcome in, Annie. RD Channel's here.
Annie, get your gun.
There's Almira. Welcome in. Charmaine's in here. Rona's in here. Welcome in. There's Heartland Headquarters with Dink and Tank. Tamara is in here. I know that's Tamara. Or else would be the paint buffer. Abby G's here. Welcome in, Abby. Leela and Layla's in here. Jolynn is in here. Welcome in, Jolynn. Let's see. Shane Roz is here. Good to see you. And there's Terry saying hello. Finally. Good Lord. So anyway, I'll try to keep up with the chat. I had a disgruntled subscriber tell me that I
It
don't
wasn't me.
chat very well, and I don't want to say his name, Jesse, but see, Jesse's quick about criticizing me. Hey, Sherry,
Jesse's quick
Phillips
about
here.
criticizing everybody.
Yeah, I didn't want to throw anybody under the bus, Jesse, but I had to. So, yeah, everybody's saying hello to everybody. So Juneteenth was yesterday, and it seems like, if you work at a regular job, a lot of places don't, especially if you're in the food service industry or the hotel, hospitality, and most jobs that aren't state or federal, okay, it's just another work day. Okay. And I get that. But it is a recognized federal holiday. And states and federal people are mandatory that they, except for essential personnel, they'll work and stuff like that, because you can't just shut everything. Somebody's got to answer the phone, I guess. But the Juneteenth, it stems from the Emancipation Proclamation, or Proclamation number 95, that was signed by Abraham Lincoln on January 1st, 1863. All right, during the American Civil War. The proclamation had an effect of changing legal status for more than 3.5 million enslaved African Americans, and the abolishment of slavery, which led to, later on, the 13th Amendment. Okay? And on Thursday, it marked the 160th year since the original Juneteenth was recognized, which commemorates the day the last group of enslaved people found out that they had been freed. Okay. A long holiday in the Black community, and now federally recognized. The celebration kicks off each June 19th, allowing people to gather, dance, and act pivotal moments in history and more. Juneteenth is a celebration of freedom and opportunity. It's not so much about slavery as it is about freedom from slavery and what it allowed for former enslaved people to live their lives free to marry, free to learn and read, to educate themselves, and to have self-agency over their bodies, and to keep their families together. That's what it celebrates. It's just a Black holiday, but it has meaning. Okay. So how did it start? How did we get it? Juneteenth is the commemoration of the event that took place 160 years ago in Galveston, Texas. Okay. About 57 miles southeast of Houston. Calling it an often overlooked event in our nation's history, the National Museum of African American History said Juneteenth occurs 2 years after, it's first started 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing the slaves in the rebellious states, as they called them. Okay? So, this day on June 19th, 1865, Union troops freed African American slaves in Galveston Bay and across Texas, because Texas was the last holdout for the Confederacy. Okay, it was their last stronghold. This American history and world history, Texas history, and most of all Galveston history, because Galveston, Texas is the birthplace of June 19th. Okay, historians say primarily enslaved people celebrated after 1865, but festivities died out for a while. Then in 1879, politician Robert Evans introduced a bill to celebrate Black emancipation, but the bill did not gain enough support during the Jim Crow era. Juneteenth celebration began to regain popularity in the 70s and 80s after Texas politician Albert Eli Edwards pushed for June 19th to become a state holiday, which it was. It was the very first state that made it a holiday for the state because of its roots. Then came retired teacher and educator Opal Lee, known as the grandmother of Juneteenth. She started a petition to federally recognize the holiday in October of 2019. Not many people signed it, but following the George Floyd murder and protests that ensued, her petition jumped significantly, gaining 1.6 million, which got the eye of the president at the time. So on June 18th, 2021, then President Joe Biden declared June 19th a national holiday. Lee was present that day for the signing. So that is why we have Juneteenth, which is celebrated every 19th day of, or on the 19th of June every single year now. So I thought it was relevant to talk about that. And, you know, because I'm a believer you never want to erase history because you learn from history. And if you didn't know why we had the holiday, that's why we have the holiday. Okay. It's not about slavery. It's about freedom from slavery. And Texas led the way. Most people always say, Texas, bunch of rednecks and, you know, all this BS. But in fact, they led the nation in honoring those people that were freed. So there you go, guys. You have all the information you need to be dangerous about Juneteenth. All right. So, hey, we got Ralph here from Webb's Web. He's in the house. There's CB, Sablawan Family Vlogs. Welcome in. Let's see. Hey, there's John Goes Outdoors. Welcome in, John. Scrolling back up. Eligio de la Cruz, welcome in. Out and About with Dave and Dozy. Welcome in. There's Shirley de la Cruz. Welcome in. There's Therese TV. Welcome in.
Ed, Whistle Stop Homestead.
There is
That's Ed.
Desier. Roadkill Ron's here. Loose Screw Ranch is here. Hi, Kim. Make sure we got everybody. I think we got everybody. All right, let me go back down to the bottom in case somebody else pops in. Being from the South, I had family that fought on both sides of the Civil War. I am supposed to remember one and not the other. Yeah, you got to recognize everything because it happened. Okay, it actually happened. So, all right. So Paul He was here before we even started, and I always love having Paul up. But Paul has something he wants to talk about and show us.
Paul was sitting here listening to these two, to Terry and Mike talking about what happened yesterday. And they didn't realize they'd left the mic on.
I forgot I had the microphone on.
I'm sitting here laughing my head off.
He got the true Himty Homestead.
Right. Thanks, Rebecca.
You're welcome.
So that came from Rebecca. Don't cut whatever's inside.
Be careful. Don't cut.
I only cut the edges.
Okay. Because that's a pre-used bag that I just turned inside out.
It's all right. I do the same thing myself.
It's like they cost money, so may as well use them. You know.
There you go.
Ooh.
Oh, they feel real soft. I can't wait for the cold weather.
Make sure you look inside before putting it on your head.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
What are those?
Scrubbies.
Oh, scrubbies. Okay.
Scrubbies. Every hat gets scrubbies. 2 scrubbies.
Now he looks like a dock worker.
Yes, he does.
Oh, now I look like a Norwegian fisherman.
There you go. There you go.
It's so comfortable.
A hat. Yeah, I wear mine every winter. I have a nice fluffy one, and it keeps my bald head warm.
Yeah. Well, guess what, Mike?
Yeah.
I got 2.
You got 2? There you go.
Yep.
And I got one of Rebecca's hairs.
Oh, there you go.
It's the only long hair that I've had in this flat.
Yeah, you better not let customs know that.
Yeah, they'll be charging me extra for that.
That's right.
Thank you very much, my dear. They are so comfortable.
Not only is Rebecca blessing people here in the States with hats and blankets and stuff, she's now international.
Oh, yes. I have been international for a while because I sent some scrubbies and a hat to oh gosh.
I'm gonna have to hide these from my daughter.
From Australia.
Okay.
Jonesy.
Okay.
Jonesy's got some of my hats. So
all right.
I've been international for a while, and of course you can think about Canada. There's a lot up there in Canada.
Yeah.
I don't think much of Canada.
But this is
beautiful.
This is the first time that I've ever shipped something to England myself.
Yeah, a red and white one would have been great. Then he could just go out and be Santa Claus and walk the streets.
That's Jesse.
And get a free meal.
I get a free meal every time I turn up at my daughter's.
Yeah.
You got a free meal yesterday.
I did get a free meal yesterday. So yesterday we went down to Texas again, and we went to Eisenhower State Park down in Texas. And we did some filming down there, and we'll post that video on the park. And then we will next Wednesday give you our final decision on which park we're going to have the 2026 YouTube meetup in, the Mid-America. So be ready for that for next Wednesday. Beautiful park, Eisenhower State Park, beautiful. A lot of maintenance. The lake is really up. They did have the swim beach closed. They did have the boat ramps are closed because the water's all the way up by the grass. So they still haven't, we talked to the park rangers and stuff like that. And they said hey, they are letting as much water out of that lake, and it's still not going down because it just don't stop raining. But yesterday we went down there, beautiful day, 100 degrees in Texas or whatever it was. And I'm telling you, if you weren't in the shade, it was hotter than all get out. So that's why we want the Mid-America in May before everybody starts roasting. So, yeah, and we got rain here the other day, another 2 inches of rain and a quick thunderstorm. And our pond was just leaking down the road because it's out of its banks too. So, all right. Cows aren't going thirsty here in Oklahoma. So that's a good thing. So we didn't go down there.
Don't go thirsty. You don't go thirsty.
And the state park is next to Denison. Did I finally get that right?
You did.
Denison, Texas, and just north of Sherman, Texas, off of Highway 75, which turns into 69 once it hits Oklahoma. So Brittany treated us to lunch yesterday. She drove up from Waco. Always enjoy our time with her when we get to see her. Man, she's lost a lot of weight.
She looks fantastic.
Here.
Well, I mean, she's lost weight.
And she looks great.
Yeah.
She looked great before, but she's a skinny mini now.
Well, she was never a fat one to start with.
No, she wasn't. She was never. And she drove her sports car up there, and she hates potholes.
And if you don't hate potholes,
complain about potholes, but Texas has just as many.
if you don't hate potholes, you're not right in the head.
Yeah. I mean,
I hit one yesterday.
Terry hit one yesterday. I thought the whole wheel was going to come off. I mean, it was just, we're on the highway. There's just a hole in the concrete. Holy crap.
I was driving a 65.
It was dark, so she thought it was patched over,
Well,
but it was a hole.
I couldn't get in the other lane because there was a semi.
And there was a semi on her left side, so she couldn't get over anyway. Hey, Whistle Stop Homestead's here.
I told you that. But I was driving a 65 footer, hit a pothole, and lost the back wheel.
Oh, wow.
It rolled 200 yards down the bank and plowed straight into the back of a police car.
Yeah. There is Roxy. Welcome in, Roxy. Good to see you.
Is it hot over there?
Legio's here supporting Husky Edna down in Australia land. Supposed to get 93 in Missouri today.
It's 84 here.
Oh, it's 84 degrees there?
Yeah.
Is that considered hot in England?
It's considered very warm.
We call that spring.
That's considered very warm.
Hmm.
The hottest I've ever felt over here was 34 Celsius.
Oh, okay.
It says up here in Columbia it's supposed to get to 94.
94 in Columbia and Como. Yeah, Columbia, Missouri. That is where Terry's.
Como's are no good for these, Mike.
Yeah. You got to cool that up when it gets too hot because you'll get that thing blistered. Oh, man.
Paul, don't use that hair for some bad thing because I don't even have a passport to be able to go to England. Nope.
I don't have a passport either.
I will send you all the information for the meetup. I'll send you an information sheet if you want that when we make our final decision on where the meetup's going to be. Hopefully next year we don't have as much rain as we did this year because it absolutely is bad. Absolutely bad here in Oklahoma. I mean, it is just. Let me get rid of that.
Typical Yank.
Down.
Typical Yank moaning because it's wet.
Well, look, just because you live on an island.
You mean just because we're used to it?
And you're used to it. That's right. You can set your clock by the afternoon rain in England. Kind of like in Colorado Springs, 1 o'clock, the clouds came over, we got rain or we got snow or whatever. But you could almost set your clock by the clouds coming over the Rocky Mountains in Colorado Springs. Because when I was in England back in the 80s, when did Princess Diana die? 89?
88.
88. I was over there, and I was over there for 10 days. And it pretty much rained every day.
That's because the angels were crying.
Yeah, I mean, why were they crying?
Because Princess Diana had gone.
Oh, I will tell you that we got there 2 days prior to that, and we did do the tour around Buckingham Palace, Hyde Park. We got all that stuff out of the way on day one. And then on the day she died, I'm going to tell you something. You didn't want to take 20-something Boy Scouts in downtown London around the Buckingham Palace or any place like that. But I will tell you that all the other historical sites in England, there was no waiting. I mean, we went to the Tower of London. We got to see the crown jewels. There was no waiting.
Hang on. You got into the Tower of London and you got out.
Yes.
Did they know you were a traitorous colonial?
Yes, they did. Yes.
You got to see the beekeepers.
I told them that, and they said, well, welcome anyway. But what is it? The beef eaters?
The beef eaters.
The beef eaters, we had our own personal tour guide, took us all the way around it, gave the history. He signed all the boys' trail book because we had a trail book for England. He signed off on that they'd been to the Tower of London. We went out to Hampton Palace. Man, I'm going to tell you something.
Hey, Jerry, Susan.
You had to see certain things within there. And, man, we did some walking that day. One of the things that scared me was in the small towns outside of London, there's a Boy Scout camp. I can't tell you the actual location, but you have to go to the little train station there in this village, and then you get on these older styled trains. Okay, they're not like the new modern or anything like that. But when they pull into the station in London, they were built back in the day, and there's about a 0.5 foot to 18-inch gap between the platform and the train. And everybody just hops off, they just big step off. They know that. So
every now and again, somebody slips.
I got 20, probably 21 Boy Scouts with me, and there's only 2 adults. And boys, they're like, they're playing grab ass and stuff like that on the train and everything, being loud. Everybody's looking at them like, I said, hey, not my kids. But they're getting off, and one of the boys slips and falls, and he goes down. And not only does he go down, and I'm right behind him, is he hit that concrete thing on his chin and split that whole bottom part open, right? And then cracked a couple of his teeth. So I see him fall, and I go down and I grab him by his shirt and I yank him up and get him on the platform. By then, he just gushing blood all over the place. So we went into the first aid place there at the train station. I grabbed something out of my bag and I held his face up, and he took I think 14 stitches to close up the bottom of his. And then we had to go to we went to the Air Force Base, and we went to a dentist that was on base because he was a dependent child. I had the guardianship paper signed by the parents and all that stuff, and showed the ID cards, and they fixed him up. And he had a great trip. He'll never forget that. He's a man now, so I'm pretty sure he's never forgot the day that London knocked the piss out of him.
Do you know why that train that gap is between them?
Because of the big new trains?
Because we went decimal. When we went decimal, we had to go with all the European sizes.
Oh.
And their trains were wider than ours.
Oh.
And that's where the Boy Scout camp is. That full area is because of what it is to be a Boy Scout over here.
Yeah.
It's still heritage. That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
It's still classed as Prince Charles was, as he was, always agreed with keeping all that stuff along in the heritage site.
Okay.
Hence, they've never bothered putting any widening on the bloody platform so people don't slip down there.
Oh, okay. Now I do know that at the Boy
And this
Scout-
is coffee. Coffee. I do not drink tea.
Hey, there's Carlos. Hey, how you doing? Team Ohio.
I don't know. I don't know, Mike, if you've ever noticed, but I have a scar here.
I didn't.
Well, then I guess when my parents took me to the hospital, they had a nice doctor that stitched me up pretty good, because when I think I was about 7.
Yeah.
I was trying to round my brothers up. And remember those platform shoes that are very slick?
Yeah.
I hit the edge of the concrete, split my face open. Yeah.
Wow. Hey, there's Jolly Huggers. Welcome in. And there's Rice Lewis. Welcome in.
Do you know the best tea party I've ever heard of?
There is Scott rambling with the brooms and Butler Family Farms in here. Go ahead,
Jerry.
Paul.
The best tea party I've ever heard of was the Boston Tea Party.
Hey, Journey Smiles, welcome in.
They threw that crap where it belonged.
Yeah, the English tea. The Bud Files, welcome in, guys. All right.
I ain't got no angel food cake, but I've definitely got coffee. This holds, you know that 15-ounce cup mugs you sent me?
Yeah, we do
This
have
whole-
a lot of lakes in Oklahoma.
This holds 2.5 of those mugs you sent me.
Oh, wow. Let's see. Make sure we say hello to everybody.
Good morning, Tiffany.
Good morning to you.
Morning,
Paul.
Tiffany.
Let's see.
Kentucky, I could tell you to kick my ass, but I'd enjoy it.
The breakfast of retired Marines, coffee and angel food cake. There's Tiffany, Canadian Family Life. Hey, there's Bo's RV Life. Welcome in.
Has my sound cleared up any better for you?
Yeah, sounds really good.
Yeah. That's all right. This idiot just realised what he's been doing.
If I talk over you, it's just because I want to. Hey, there's Crystal.
Jeremy, slap in for me.
Oh, man. Everybody saying hello to Tiff. All right. So,
Diana died in 97. You were a decade off.
oh, 97. She died in 97. That's when it was. Yeah. I can't remember if it was the 80s or the 90s. It was 97 when she died.
Well, and I mean, you're
That's right. I was living in Belfast when it happened.
Yeah. It was 97. Man, I was off by a decade. Good Lord. See, I don't remember, but I do remember something inside of me.
Oh, really?
The Sun newspaper and a couple of other ones had her picture on the front cover right after she got killed. And I went to the newsstand and they had 3 major papers up there, maybe 4. And I grabbed all of them that had her picture on the front page. And I still to this day have saved those all these years. It's in a hard case suitcase in plastic. And I saved those. I said, well, maybe one day, I don't know, but I had to do it because I was a baseball card collector. And I said, you know what? She's pretty famous. Let me just grab these. And I got them downtown London outside of the train station there. And I scarfed them up and I saved them. Most everybody else probably in England probably used them to start a fire or something like that.
Not those ones.
Not those?
No, not those ones. Despite what everybody believed between the Queen and Diana, it's come to pass that most of that was a load of shite that was posted in the newspapers.
Oh, you don't think there was a conspiracy?
Yes, everybody thought it was the Queen. It wasn't the Queen because the Queen loved her.
Yeah.
What do you show and tell?
Oh, there we go. Terry got him out. So
That's why she didn't cancel me.
here is the Daily Mail that I got.
That's just natural beauty there.
Yeah, that was the page, 80-page special edition, September 1st, 1997. This is what was on the Sun newspaper.
Yep.
That was on the Sun newspaper there. And it actually it wraps all the way around. The front page does. That was on the Sun.
Page 3. Do not turn that Sun to page 3.
This was the Mirror. Okay. That was on the Mirror. The Daily Star. That was on the Star newspaper.
You wouldn't believe it. If you look at William on that one, he's got a full head of hair.
This is the People. That was on that one.
Yeah, typical People.
And the Evening Standard. Yeah, she was beautiful.
Yeah.
And that was on that. And I took, I mean, the pictures of people, I mean, they were devastated.
The whole nation was.
Yeah, they were devastated what had happened to her. She was doing so much good for the world, for the demining of areas to protect children and stuff like that.
And for those with AIDS.
Who knows where we would be if she was still alive? You know what I mean? And that's just, so I just thought, hey, I grabbed every newspaper from that stand that had her picture on the front. And yeah, it was a very somber day, crowded for days. People came from all over England and flooded London to do that. They had vigils at Hyde Park. It was just crazy. But anyway, that was yeah. She protected the little ones. That was her mission in life. So, and who knows? The boy, at least one of the boys, might have turned out different if mom was still alive. But anyway, we won't go into that. Yeah, the world was devastated. Yes.
Tamara, I can't stand Charles for a lot of reasons. Sorry, Rebecca.
Mike, do you know she was born the same year we were?
In 61?
Yes.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Geez, I'm on here with some old farts.
She was born July 1st.
Oh, so I was older than her. So I was born in January 23rd. So I'm pretty sure if she would have met me first, we would have probably been an item. Because I was handsome back then. My Lord, I was handsome.
No.
Man.
She'd already seen 2 Americans before then.
Yeah, well, she didn't meet me.
She didn't like them. They were too brash.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't stand Charles. Well,
Not a lot of people can.
a lot of he never gave up on Camilla. I think Camilla was the love of his life, and Princess Diana was his duty.
She wasn't. She wasn't his duty. But the thing is, she was his cover, and she didn't know it because Charles was messing about with a married officer's wife.
Yeah.
Any other officer gets canned, kicked out of the service. Charles, no, he's still in charge of that regiment.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And the worst thing is, the officer whose wife he was playing around with, they were school friends.
Yeah.
You should never apologize for thinking out loud, Tamara.
Marilla DeVille.
I just call her a horse.
Yeah.
She's got a face like a horse.
Yeah. She said, I'm sorry, thinking out loud.
Well, we have
fine.
that
You can
right.
think out loud on this channel. That's fine.
We have that right because we're
Yes. Yeah.
The only way they can stop me from talking out loud, talking as fast as my brain, is to cut me bloody tongue out.
Hey, there
Good morning, Debbie.
Debbie Dross in here. Welcome in. Yeah, I mean, Americans have an absolute fascination with the royal family. We really do.
What surprises me?
I mean, when she died, every single channel in America was covering this. And they covered every angle, everything. The paparazzi people that were on their scooters in the tunnel, they covered everything. Now, I was in England at the time. We weren't watching TV. We weren't doing anything because we were at a Boy Scout camp. But the morning when the news broke, I went out. I was getting ready to make breakfast and get everything ready so the Boy Scouts could prepare the meal and do all this stuff. And there was 2 ladies sitting over on a picnic bench, and they were scout leaders for English Scout Group. I think they were called Pioneers or something. Anyway, it was a group that was there at the Scout Park, the same time, and they were crying. And I was going over to the bathhouse with a big 5-gallon jug to get water, so they could do dishes and do all this stuff. And they were crying. I said, "Are you okay?" And they looked up, and I mean, they looked like raccoons. They were crying so hard. And she says, "Didn't you hear? Princess Diana has passed." I go, "Where'd she pass off to?" She goes, "No, she's dead." And I said, "Really?" And she just looked at me. She goes, "You don't seem shocked." I said, "I'm sorry, I didn't really know her, but I knew who she was." And they actually took offense that I didn't get emotional. And I went back to them later and I said, "Hey, I'm sorry. It is a tragedy, blah, blah, blah." And she goes, "It's okay. I was just emotionally distraught at the time and blah, blah, blah." And I go,
Yeah,
well,
typical British woman.
yeah.
They get emotional, and if somebody else isn't, then they've got to get vicious.
Yeah. So
'Cause I'll tell
she
you
did
what-
apologize for being snooty and snippy to me. She actually used those two words, snooty and snippy.
Our tops are all like that.
So she said, and this is what one of the ladies said to me. She goes, "This is a bloody good opportunity to go to all the other sites," because we had talked about the trail and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, somebody from London, a scout leader, took us to everything and things we didn't even have on our map trail. And she took us everywhere. And then we seen her 2 days after we got to Camp Baden-Powell, the island down there, or actually up towards the Bering Sea on the right north side of Scotland and all that. We went to Baden-Powell and we spent 5 days at Baden-Powell, and the boys just got an education from the people that work there that live and breathe scouting. So we absolutely appreciate everything that they did for the boys and stuff. So anyway, and scouting, I mean, I really, truly am upset that people took the Boy Scouts of America to court to get them to
let girls in.
girls to come into scouting. Then I just recently talked to a Girl Scout leader that was at one of the expos, and they had a booth selling their cookies and all that. And I said, well, she said, yeah, attendance went down for the most part because a bunch of girls went over to Boy Scouting or scouting. And then after a while, it went back to the way it was. I said, well, can a boy become a Girl Scout? She goes, oh, no, you can't. And I'm like going, like, what the frick? Isn't that why we have Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts?
We don't have Girl Scouts.
You just have scouting.
No, we have Girl Guides.
Girl what?
Guides.
Girl Guides.
Yeah. Girls have the guides, boys have the scouts. I mean, the Girl Guides are taught basically the same thing.
Right.
But they're also taught first aid, which the scouts are, but they're taught more than the scouts are.
Yeah. Welcome in, Gary. At Jailbait Tackling Outdoors. Oh, but what was that one? Because in scouting here, you're a Tiger Scout, a Cub Scout, a Webelow, and then a Boy Scout. And then after that, you have what's called explorers. And that's girls and boys, but explorers are groups, and you join a group of explorers that explores different jobs. Like if you want to be a police explorer or a firefighter explorer or a state park explorer, you want to get into whatever, they have explorer groups where they're both integrated, boys and girls, to learn the different career fields and stuff
I
like
always wanted to be a woman explorer.
that. No. And obviously you failed at that.
I don't know. I had
But there's hope for you, Paul, one day.
There is.
no, it's not. My part's already gone.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with that.
Girl Scouts refused to let my deaf daughter join. My daughter cried, "I hate that organization." Wow. Well, I will tell you, James, that Eagle Scouts is the highest rank in the Boy Scouts that you can attain, because you got Scout first class, second class, third class. What is it? Star,
Crimson.
Life, Scout, and then Eagle Scout. So
Tim's in.
it's all part of the same organization. But the Girl Scouts don't have things like that. I mean, they do merit badges and do all this other stuff. And I don't know their rankings within the Girl Scouts, but I do know Boy Scouts. I was in Boy Scouts my entire adolescent. In fact, the Catholic Church didn't have it. Mormon Church, awesome program in the Mormon Church. They're huge. I think the Methodists have scouting. And then there's just private scouting. But in the military, Boy Scouts are recognized on the military installation as long as a military unit sponsors them. And so, yeah. And if they weren't going to conform, then they were going to have to leave the military installations because of the woke agenda, and they couldn't come on the military bases to do their scouting programs and stuff like that. They let boys join in.
I do know that the Mormon Church did leave the Scouts. They started their own because of the woke society.
Yeah,
they did.
So, because I think there are the Mormons still just strictly boys?
Yes.
Okay, because I remember when I was a kid, they had the Mormon Church had a place outside of Payson, Arizona called Camp Geronimo. And I went with them up there every year, because if you go to scout camp, you can gain like 4, 5, 6 merit badges every time you go up there. And that's the only place you can get like horsemanship and, all that kind of stuff, and mountain trail and all kinds of stuff. So, and they didn't have computers, merit badges, or none of that stuff when I was in. It was all boys getting dirty merit badges and stuff like that. So
I never got a merit badge for that. But then again, I didn't join the Boy Scouts.
Yeah. Oh, Linda Peterson's here.
Hi, Linda.
Yeah.
Good morning,
So
Linda.
Tim from Ridgeway. Tim from Ridge Life.
Oh, there is Ridge Life. Hello, Tim, and good morning to you, brother. I watched your video this morning where your chat turned to concrete, and Tim's out there with a spade shovel in Crocs. I thought he was going to break his ankle there a couple of times.
Okay.
You got to dress to the weather, and it's hot in Tennessee. But welcome in,
Tim, this is Benny Hill.
Have you changed the direction of that hat yet?
Oh, you mean done this?
Inside out?
Inside out. That's what I'm calling my inside out hats.
I just can't believe how comfy it is.
I know. It's a lot of planning, Tim. A lot of planning.
Tim, Rebecca touched by yarn.
I sent him an email and he's never emailed me back to get a hat from me.
Who, Tim?
Tim, yeah.
Well,
I can't believe Tim thinks he's too good for a Rebecca hat.
I think
Good morning, Evelyn Newman.
I would just make him a Tennessee orange and white hat.
No. Sorry, make it pink and white.
I think I don't know if he's a Tennessee Vol fan or did he switch over to Mississippi State?
Make Tim a pink and white hat.
I think
will not.
Isn't it Morgan that goes to Mississippi State?
Well, his girlfriend's going to end up with it anyway.
Yeah.
And she's a judge.
Yes, she is. Here come the judge. Here comes the judge. That's what Tim has to sing. Tim has to sing, here come the judge.
Just wait until things happen and he comes down the stairs and says, here comes the ball and chain.
And man, isn't she a pretty little thing? I'm going to tell you what. Let's see.
Tim deserves pink and white.
Well, he says he tries to respond to everything.
He was a submariner.
Yes, he was. Yeah,
Not surprised me if
That I
most
need
of them-
Not
would
that I
wear that one.
Not that I need a scarf, but I need some.
There you go.
It's getting a little cold here in my room because my window air conditioner's coming on.
There you go, Rebecca. There's email him at THIZ11 at
I will take a picture.
.com.
I will take a picture.
Did
of
everybody get that for Tim? Send Tim an email. All 29 of you out there. Send Tim an email.
Now let's come on, picture. Now don't be fuzzy. There we go.
Yep, we will be leaving here on the 3rd of July, traveling to the Ridge in Tennessee for Freedom Weekend. It was a private invitation, 4th of July Freedom Weekend. And Tim's been working his butt off, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And it's
I'll agree with
good.
that.
And it's good. So, David, come on, we'll stop harassing him, saying he ain't doing no work.
You mean like I've been doing?
Exactly.
I still
And
harass him.
there is his P.O. box.
Oh, okay.
And if anybody wants to send Tim a nasty gram or whatever,
Scriptogram.
that would be the same mailbox.
Remember, when you send Tim the stripograms, you have to video it to send to the judge.
There we go. Like, so Tim put in chat what color you excuse me, what color you want.
Yes, we did miss Tim at Mid-America. We did miss him.
Just make sure those stripograms are all squids.
Yeah.
Somewhere in here, he said he liked the black and gray like Paul has.
Oh, block. He liked the black and gray like Paul had.
Okay. Okay, not a problem.
I like you. You made mine in black because when I could ride my Harley, because I don't wear a helmet. I put that thing down and get it as low as I can, cover up my ears in the wintertime. And I did have a chicken laying on top of my head that one time. I think she was thinking, hey, there's a big old round nest I can get on. There you go. Me and Paul can be sock cat
brothers.
Definitely.
There you go.
I
And Paul, yours matches your beard.
Of course it does. That's why I chose the colours.
Okay.
Oh, choke you bastard.
Yeah. Let's see.
I want to see how quick Terry can get in there to give him the Heimlich.
I smell cooking in the kitchen.
Oh, she's going to be a while before she gives you the Heimlich.
She goes, no, that's just me cleaning my cast iron. Damn. I thought I was getting something good to eat this morning. Okay. Well, guys, I hope everybody learned something today about Juneteenth. If you missed it, please go back and rewatch the beginning and why we celebrate Juneteenth. Everybody out there should know their history. Remember, if you destroy history, you're going to redo it. Same history.
You're destined to repeat it.
History's there for a reason. All right. And absolutely, we went the right direction. And we probably have a long ways to go. So anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody for coming in. Remember, be kind to one another. Help somebody in need, and always think of that. You want to say something, Paul?
Yeah. I'm glad that you lot think so much of your history about the slaves, because they should never be forgotten.
Never.
But I am
never
sick and tired of hearing about that prick, Lloyd George.
Who?
Floyd George.
Oh, George Floyd.
George Floyd.
Yeah.
All right, I got it wrong.
You got to have an anchor baby somewhere. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
the Black community was in outrage at the time, which was probably a great time to get signatures for the purpose that Opal was trying to do. I think that just coincided with it. I don't think she planned that. But when people realized what Opal Lee was doing, they jumped on board. But before that, she couldn't get enough signatures, 100,000. But then the community was in an uproar, and I get it. But if you do your research and you realize
they're full of shit.
The person that the Black community was falling behind, he wasn't a good guy. Okay.
No, he wasn't.
I'll leave it at that. That's just Big Mike's opinion from reading his published rap sheet. But should it have been done that way? Was that the right way to do something by the police officers? Hey, that's for a court to decide. They're trained that way to do it. And obviously the court's seen it differently. But anyway, with that being aside, remember, everybody's special. Everybody's lives matter. Okay. And
Mom used to tell me that.
Everybody just needs to be more kind to each other. And that's why I always tell people on every single video that we have done to be kind to one another, to help somebody in need, and of course, to think of that. All right, because they deserve our thanks over the history of this country, from beating the crap out of the redcoats to freeing the slaves. And a lot of people don't know that freeing the slaves was not the reason we started the Civil War. We started the Civil War by the same reason we started the Revolutionary War: taxation without representation. And the South was providing all
where that got you.
the South was providing all the food for the North, the industrial North, but they felt like they weren't being heard. They weren't being seen. Their voices didn't matter. And again, but they were getting taxed on everything. And there you go. That kind of repeats history. When people are tired of that stuff, when our politicians don't listen to the people, they get into office and they vote for themselves and not the people that they represent. So anyway, guys, I hope everybody has a great weekend. It's going to be warm here in Oklahoma. It's going to be warm over there in Missouri, Texas. It's going to be a hot one because Texas has got some 100 degrees coming. So anyway, I want to say thank you to my guests for coming in. If you have any questions of them, go over to Rebecca's channel. She's getting. You're like at 960 something.
Mm-hmm.
Rebecca is almost there to 1,000 guys.
I want to be there before
Rebecca's channel,
I want to be there before my birthday,
and that's July something, right?
26th.
26. Our granddaughter's is the 16th
My dad's was the 12th
Mine's the 3rd.
of July.
July. My dad and I were in the same month. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway,
My daughter's
guys,
July
thanks
as
for
well.
coming in. Thank my guests. Anyway, guys, hey, we're going to Tennessee. It's coming up. Can't wait.
On the 3rd.
Why?
On the 3rd.
I did-
That's Terrie's birthday. The 3rd of July
Oh,
is Terrie's birthday. And I'm sure Tim probably has a whole celebration waiting for her when she gets there. He probably has presents for her because he's a good host and all that stuff.
He's probably left already.
Yeah, he's probably left. But anyway, guys, thanks for being in here. God bless you, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.
Stay
Bye.
safe, everyone. Have a good week.